Hi everyone, this is Lovelyn Johnson. I am part of the John Maxwell team, and we are going to start a new series on the 16 undeniable laws of communication. The law we are going to be looking at today is the law of credibility. Every one of us has a message. We have gone through ups and downs in our lives, and with us, because of the seasons that we have gone through, we carry a message that we can pass it on to help the next generation or to help in our personal or professional level. So communication, if you think about it, helps in all walks of life, whether it's a relationship with a spouse, relationship with our teenage children, or relationship with a friend or a co-worker. Communication is sort of the foundation in terms of how you can influence someone. And it helps you to build, develop, and maintain relationships. Harvard Business Review says that effective communication is the number one criteria for professional advancement. Yet often we struggle to be better communicators. At school we are not taught, or at work we are not taught how to communicate clearly and effectively. Public speaking is the number one fear that an average person goes through. Can you believe that? And the second fear is death. So in other words, a person would rather be in a casket in a funeral hall than to stand up and give an eulogy. That's kind of weird, but we all can build our communication when we are intentional about it and we spend time building it. Often when we think of communication, we want to be excellent overnight, but there's no overnight success. We would get better over time. If you stick with me, I can guarantee you that by the end of the 16 laws, we would be great communicators, not perfect communicators, but we would have come a long way in the journey of communication, and we would be better communicators over time. Remember, communication is not a destination, so you would never reach the arrived status, but it's a journey, and this is the best way to get started. I want you to do a small exercise with me. Think of a leader or speaker you deeply admire. Now take time to write down 3 qualities that make that leader stand out. You can pause the video and work on it. I would encourage you to do that because it gives you clarity on why you like a speaker. The law of credibility states that your most effective message is the message that you live. The book talks about 5 credible qualities of a great communicator. Be transparent, be consistent, be a good example, be competent, and be trustworthy. Be transparent. People don't want perfect, they want the real you. Often we think that we should appear flawless, that we should appear perfect in front of people so they would like and connect with us. But it's often because of our failures and our setbacks that builds that connection with people. So be open with your struggles, be open with your setbacks, be open with your shortcomings, and that's what would build the connection. People want an authentic you. I love the quote by Jamie Carmelina. She says, authenticity may not guarantee success, but inauthenticity would guarantee failure. Think about that. Inauthenticity would guarantee failure. So be authentic, be the real you. The second principle is be consistent. Our words and our actions should be in sync with each other. When we start off, often maybe our words would be taken and people would take our word for it. But over time, it's our actions that would make us stand out, because people will look at our words and they would look at our actions and they would see inconsistencies. And if it is inconsistent, they would not connect with you. So consistency is the key for credibility. You are what you repeatedly do. So be intentional with what you repeatedly do, and you're guaranteed to make a connection. The third principle is be a good example. John says when he started speaking, he would only speak on things that he strongly believed in. Later, he added one more criteria. He not only had to believe in it, but he had to live the message. Think about a message that comes out of a person when it is lived. There would be many struggles, there would be setbacks, there would be failures, and because of that, your message will have huge credibility. So be a good example. There is a story in the book which talks about Mahatma Gandhi. A lady brings her son to Gandhi and says, "Can you tell my son to stop eating sugar?" And Gandhi looks at the lady and says, "Come back after 3 days." So after 3 days, the lady brings her son to Gandhi and says, "Can you tell him to stop eating sugar?" Gandhi looks at the son and says, "Stop eating sugar." The lady is puzzled. What happened? Why didn't he say that 3 days ago? Why did I have to come back? So she asked Gandhi, "Why didn't you tell him the first time?" And he said, "At that time, I was eating sugar." Your most effective message is the message that you live. If you live that message, preach the message. If not, don't share it with others. The fourth quality is be competent. If you are not competent in what you do, your message will just fall flat. Don't just talk about it, be great at it. I love tennis, and the people who know me know that I love tennis. And what good is that? Because just knowing and loving tennis wouldn't give you the credibility to stand in front of people and talk. If I am giving a talk about tennis and Roger Federer is giving a talk about tennis, who do you think people would come to listen to that talk? Roger. Because Roger has gone through tough times. He knows what it is to sacrifice. He has played the game with great passion, and he's got several trophies to prove that he has the credibility to speak about tennis. He is a competent player, and because of his competency, people will come to hear him speak. So be competent. If you are not good in a particular area, don't talk about it. Talk about areas that you are good at and you are learning and growing to be good at. The weight of a communicator's words is determined by what they have accomplished. Be competent. The fifth quality is be trustworthy. When I think of trust, I often have this picture of me walking into the bank and asking for a loan. The banker would collect all my documents and would then run my credit score. I could sit there and say whatever I want, that I'm a very credible person. The banker would nod at me, but they would look at the credit score and decide what type of person I am in terms of repaying my debts. They would look at my past records and decide, can I give her the loan that she's asking for? Is she known for paying the debts on time? And if the records doesn't say that, they are going to be very skeptical in giving me the full amount. Or even if they choose to give the full amount, they're going to have a high interest rate because I'm high risk of not repaying the debt. That's how our personal life works. I go and talk to someone. My friends would flip through the pages and decide what kind of credibility does she have. Does her words match her action? If my words are not going to match my action, they are not going to take my word for it. I immediately become not trustworthy. I love this quote. I don't know the author. Trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. Think about that. Years to build. What would take years can be just broken within a second by one act, and then forever to repair. So let's be very intentional in building our trust. To summarize, the law of credibility states that your most effective message is the message that you live. The next time you want to deliver a message, ask yourself these 3 questions. Is this something I know? Is this something I feel? And is this something I do? And only when you can answer yes to all these three questions, then stand up and deliver your message. Because your most effective message is the one you live. I hope you found this lesson helpful. I'll see you again next week.